One of my favorite pastimes was fishing. And there was one time I was fishing at this spot on the river. And I remember I caught this fish. It looked sort of like a carp and a fish I had never seen before. It had a strange body, multiple eyes, and these lumps like pustules. When the four other guys fishing down on the river saw me pull this strange looking thing up out of the water, everybody started yelling. One guy said, "Throw that thing back. Throw it back in the water, man. It's something. It's got something in it." And what he was saying was part of a long-standing rumor that fish down on the James River consumed human bodies, body parts that came from the hospital that was not really far from the James River, and strange chemicals that poured into the water. So his complaint, his concern was something I had heard before. He insisted that I get rid of it. While it was grotesque, I wanted people to see it. The man came up to me and he pushed me back and snatched the fish off the line and threw it back in the water. For weeks, for months, I told people about it. I caught this fish. It looked like a carp. It had several eyes, lumps, pustules, strange looking fish. Everybody said, "Man, that's just rumors. It's stuff that people lie about. There are no fish like that on the river." But I would occasionally bring the story up all the time, either when I was on the river and other people were around and I would say it. I would mention it to people in school about the strange and unusual fish that I had caught. Well, after more than a year and a half, the story kind of died down. I was back on the river fishing, and I remember I got a hook, and it was, whatever it was spinning in this strange formation. And the only time I had ever seen that before while I was trying to reel in a fish was when I caught that strange looking fish nearly 2 years ago. So I immediately thought to myself, that's gotta be what it is. But I couldn't see. It was giving me a hard fight. And I finally got to the point where I got its head just about above the water. And sure enough, it looked like that fish. And I struggled trying to play it, trying to get it up, and I got it up out of the water. I put it on a stringer as fast as I can. It gasped. I was so concerned that I was going to lose the fish and nobody was going to believe me. I took it out of the water and I threw it up on the bank. As it struggled and it flipped and it flopped and its mouth gaped open and shut, and I thought about what people would think if they saw it. Everybody would know that I was not lying, that I got the most unusual fish in the world. The fish continued to gasp, flip, and flop. And as I looked at it, and his eyes moved back and forth, I had the impression I needed to put it back. But I was fighting against all the stories that I had heard, all the people who wouldn't believe me. To put the fish back would certainly prove that I was a liar. To keep the fish would prove that I told the truth. But the fish would most certainly die. The truth or a lie. The life of the fish or my reputation. I put the fish back in the water. That's the story.